The fastest off-road riders are set to square off yet again here in round number 10, Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC. And the big news, Stu Baylor coming back to GNCC and coming back with a win. Can he make it 2 in a row here today aboard the Ampro Yamaha? GNCC on MAVTV starts now.
Are you ready to go GNCC Racing?
Well, hello again, folks, and welcome to the Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC here at historic Sunday Creek Raceway in Millfield, Ohio. I'm Mikey Waynes, and I'll be taking you through today's racing action. And to get us started, we look back at round number 9 with the Specialized Race Recap. How about that Yamaha Skycam, by the way? Love it. Round number 9 started off, well, pretty similar to how we saw every other round start this season. Caleb Russell getting out front early in this one. And boy, how about the start for the 410 of Andrew DeLong. Great start to this race for him. But that guy right there, 514 Ampro Yamaha, making his comeback to GNCC aboard that Yamaha, did not take him long to get out in front. In the number 2 spot right there. But again, like we say, did not take him long to move into that number 1 spot right there. And boy, had some good battles throughout the day with Ben Kelly, but Stu Baylor was a man on a mission, to say the least. A statement race, if you will, in West Virginia. He absolutely would not be denied, despite the 530 of Ben Kelly giving it the try right there. But again, Stu Baylor, man, welcome back to GNCC. Coming back, first race since round number 3 on a new bike, comes out and snags the win in round number 9. And boy, we look to see if he can do some more of the same magic here today. And Stu Baylor on screen right there. No goggles, didn't even need them toward the end of this one, running on pure adrenaline. And boy, you talk about excitement. And how could you not be excited for that guy right there? Stu Baylor snagging the win in round number 9. And again, can he do it here today in round number 10? A look there at the top 8 riders from round number 9, the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Mountaineer. And we had a chance to catch up with Stu Baylor after the race.
You know, it's 1 year you've got the big A-class motorhome and everything going for you, and a huge offer, and then the next year, you know, somebody dumps you on your head and leaves you with nothing, and that's kind of where I was. And you know, I knew when I came back to the GNCCs that I was going to have to leave absolutely nothing out on the track, and that's what I did today. And you know, the fans out there were just unreal. I mean, that was the most I think I've ever seen the fans piped up. You know, Snowshoe's always good, Steel Creek's always good, but I think, I don't know what it is. I've been saying it all weekend. These Yamaha guys, it's not like followers. They have like a cult following. These guys are insane. So, you know, they kept me going from the first lap to the last lap. And, you know, I could see as soon as I came through that last rock garden, people were sprinting towards the finish line. And, you know, it was awesome. These guys kept me going all day.
Well, can he do it here again today and go back to back? This one's ready to get underway. Again, this is the Yamaha Racing Burr Oak GNCC, and All Balls Racing. Whole shot award up for grabs here in the Pro Row XC1 class. Jockeying for position. How about that? The 410 and the 530. Looks like Ben Kelly gonna snag that whole shot, but boy, just after things get real crazy. And the 127 Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Kawasaki now out in front of these guys as they head into the woods, and riders still jockeying for position right there. A racetrack that we are familiar with. We raced here earlier this season, known as the John Penton, Burr Oak, kind of paying homage to what this was back before it was a John Pinton. So pretty cool to be back here in what has been a wild and wacky 2020. The XC2 250 Pro class, how about that? The 521 of Thorne Devlin. This guy, an absolute hole shot machine. And if you ask him, he's got those starts dialed in, but that win, that podium finish has eluded him. But boy, you talk about an absolutely stacked class. This one, top 3 riders in it: Mike Wachowski, Johnny Gerard, and then of course Craig DeLong. Been battling all season long in that one. This one's going to come down, I believe, to the wire come the end of this season. But you look at it, I think there's every bit of 6 or 7 guys out there that could snag a win. The FMF XC3 125s, listen to them sing. Gotta love that stuff right there. Boy, that battle, woo, that was a close one. That was the ride of Jason Liscombe and Zach Hayes duking it out right there. Looks like Jason Liscombe might have edged him out just by a hair, but boy, the race is on in that FMF XC3 class as they head into the woods, and tight racing for all 3 of our pro classes here. Jason Raines toward the back of the pack. Well, Jordan Ashburn's out front early. Can he keep it up for 3 hours of racing? GNCC on MAVTV returns after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Yamaha, revs your heart.
Well, the 127 of Jordan Ashburn still out front early in this one, followed closely by Caleb Russell and Stu Baylor in the number 3 spot. And Ben Kelly, number 5, 30 KTM. There he is, not too far off the pace, back in the number 4 position. And boy, everybody else, tight racing there for the rest of the XC1 pack. Not seeing too big of gaps between these guys. Certainly, everybody's still in it, especially that guy right there, the 114 of Josh Strang. And here we go. First lead change of the day. Caleb Russell finds himself out in front, followed closely by Jordan Ashburn and Stu Baylor into that number 3 spot. See how long he stays there. And there is Josh Strang right there, and 523 Ampro Yamaha of Lane Michael pulling it up. Oh, and Lane Michael gets a little hung up right there. Sliding on that rock, finally gets it up and going. Doesn't lose a whole lot of time, but certainly going to have his work cut out for him the rest of the day here. And Stu Baylor out in front now, 3rd lead change of the day. The Ampro Yamaha Stu Baylor. Now keep your eye on this section right here. Couple different line choices for our riders, as you'll see with the rest of the pack. They can take that wide line right there. The 530 of Ben Kelly takes it, or you can jump right up the hill right there. Save a little time. A little more risky, though. You knock the bike down, and boy, you could see yourself falling back several positions. So certainly this could be a make or break for a rider. Make up some time. Whew, takes a dusting. But certainly a spot of the track that can play to an advantage or a disadvantage according to how it plays out for you. In through the rock section here is Stu Baylor. Look at that, Mason Rader on screen there. And Ken Hill right there, the GNCC photographer. So Stu Baylor out in front. There is Caleb Russell right behind him in that number 2 spot. Both riders coursing that section with ease, if you will. And Ben Kelly, the 530, a little slow rolling right through there. Wants to be cautious. No reason to get too excited and go down. And into the open section right here, kicking up the dust. It's hot. It's dusty. Stu Baylor remains out front. Caleb Russell remains in that number 2 spot. And these guys putting a little bit of distance now between them, and we believe should still be, yes, Ben Kelly still in that number 3 position. Dusty, but nothing changing. Top 3, Baylor, Russell, Kelly leading the way. Stu Baylor back into the woods right there. The 514 Ampro Yamaha. He took a win in round number 9, trying to do the same thing here today. Can he make it happen? There is Caleb Russell on the hunt right now And Ben Kelly entering the woods right there, the number 530 KTM. These guys, well out in front now. Can Stu Baylor hang on, make it back-to-back wins on the Am-Pro Yamaha? Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC continues after this. Well, the Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC offered up some great racing in the world of EMTB racing, and that guy that was just on screen there, Charlie Mullins, he's about third there for now. The guy, man, half man, half machine, just a stellar rider. Good to see him back out at the GNCCs, to say the least, aboard that Specialized machine, doing work out there in the e-bike race. Something that we got to say, if you've not been to a GNCC and raced one of these e-bike races, we can't encourage you enough. The fine folks there at Specialized, the presenting sponsor of GNCC, always on location with us, and more than happy and willing to share their knowledge about what they have to offer you, your ride, your racing program, all that good stuff. And there you go. The red number 1 plate there of Charlie Mullins, well earned, on his way to another win here this weekend at the Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC. Congratulations to him. And boy, back to the racing action. This is not what you want to see if you are a Caleb Russell fan. And that's not just me in the back of the pits that I'm talking about, but Caleb Russell taking a nasty spill, and going to be it for him today. Nasty little injury right there. And we did not see it in the recap show here, but got to give a shout out to Josh Strang, the only rider mathematically still with a chance to beat Caleb Russell in the points chase. Was actually the rider that stopped to help Caleb Russell when he saw that he went down, and let our track crew know, hey, KR's down, probably going to need some help back to the pits. So, Josh Strang, my hat is off to you. Back to the racing action. You saw Stu Baylor out there still in control of this, and now with no Caleb Russell out there, has really built on that lead. Ben Kelly capitalizes, moves up into the number 2 spot. But boy, talk about some distance between him and Stu Baylor right now. Not sure it's going to be enough for him to catch up to Stu before this one's said and done. But Stu Baylor, I got to say, if you thought it was a fluke in round number 9, you're wrong. This guy has come back swinging, and just will not be denied. Look at that lead right there. More than 30 seconds is the lead for Stu Baylor right now over the 530 KTM of Ben Kelly. And Kelly knows, man, he's got a ride darn near perfect if he wants any shot at catching back up with Stu Baylor. That guy right there, again, well in control of this one now with no Caleb Russell out. Well, Ben Kelly looks like he's chipping away at that lead a little bit here, but still pretty big gap in between first and second place, and this should open up a door for, there you go, how about a third place now? The 314 of Grant Baylor, quietly aboard the Factory One Sherco machine, moves into that number 3 spot. So there you go, the number 1, the first place rider, Stu Baylor, second place, Ben Kelly, and now Grant Baylor, his brother, in the number 3 spot. Ashburn right there in fourth. Ashburn, one of those riders, man, unfortunately for him, he's been on that bubble ride all season long. Several races where he finished just off of the box. Would love nothing more than to jump up into that number 3 position and finally get a podium here this season. And there you go. There's a good look at that lead from the Yamaha Racing Skycam. Stu Baylor going to pull in here for a pit stop, I believe. And boy, has he got some time to hang out with these guys. Pretty standard pit for Stu Baylor. New set of goggles, a little rehydration, and getting himself refueled there in the Am-Pro Yamaha pits. And just like that, he's off and rolling. Jade gives him a go, baby, go. Well, the 514, Stu Baylor, he's in control. And in the words of his wife, go, baby, go. GNCC continues after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Yamaha. revs your heart.
Round 10, the Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC. We've seen 3 lead changes early. We saw Caleb Russell leave the race after a nasty crash and injury. But since then, it's been the Stu Baylor show. No doubt about that. Ben Kelly, trails Stu Baylor in the number 2 spot, working his tail off to make up some ground. But so far, Stu Baylor has been nearly flawless here in the second half of this one. One has to wonder, is this a preview of what we're going to see in 2021? A fresh start for so many riders, but these 2 guys have certainly been in many conversations, the names that go through your mind as the main contenders next season, as Caleb Russell bids farewell with retirement. But of course, guys like Thad Duvall, Ricky Russell, Josh Strang will all have something to say about that. And don't forget Trevor Bollinger, hopefully working his way back here before the season is up. But no doubt about it, one thing we know for sure, 2021 is going to be a wild one, and we will have a new champ moving into next season. But right now, out on the track, Stu Baylor in control. He only raced rounds 1 through 3, comes back for round number 9, snags a win, and he's in control this one here today. The 5:30 at Ben Kelly, making up a little bit of time here, but boy, might be a little too late here in this one. What a race for him, though. There he is, Stu Baylor on screen here, into the last open section right here, and you can tell he is on that throttle. He is stoked. He is excited. He's thrilled. Whatever other word you want to throw at him right now, the guy has got to feel good about this one. Said it earlier in the show, if you thought round 9 was a fluke, think again. This guy is out to prove a point, not just to himself, to anybody who doubted him. Really, a statement race was made in round number 9. This one, icing on the cake. I don't know what else to say about the incredible things that Stu Baylor has done since coming back on that Ampro Yamaha. And also the progress that Ben Kelly has made here in officially his rookie season. In some ups and downs with injuries, but he has done well here toward the finish of this one. And Stu Baylor getting cheered on right there. Last few little corners right here as we look on to him from the Yamaha Racing Skycam. And as he's hitting that rev limiter, the guy is stoked to say the least. The celebration gonna be on. Stu Baylor gonna grab his 2nd consecutive win here at the Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC. Yes, and that's as good as it gets right there. That'll make the fans happy, giving them what they want. Tosses the goggles. And there is a guy on cloud 9 right now. That 514 Ampro Yamaha. Let's head down to the box and get a word in with Stu Baylor.
We worked hard this off season and then had some hiccups there in the middle part of the year. But I knew what I wanted. I knew coming into this season when Caleb announced retirement, I wasn't going to have that many chances, and luckily he slipped up there that first lap, and very seldomly do you see Caleb miss a line. He's so good at remembering them, and in the Penn section there was something that was arrowed both ways, and it just gave me the advantage that I needed over Caleb there, and and once I got in the lead, I knew I could control it, and the dust, that was a big factor today, being able to get up front, getting that lead, control the race. I was keeping an eye on my heart rate and making sure that I wasn't pushing too hard, trying to recover places on the track, and it just everything worked great. I don't know what to say. It's awesome.
And there he was, Stu Baylor taking his 2nd consecutive win, and here comes Ben Kelly around the last couple turns here, and will seal the deal on finishing 2nd here at the Yamaha Burr Oak GNCC.
Yeah, like you said, I got hurt in the beginning, and it was a bummer because I was really looking forward to putting in a strong rookie season here. But yeah, I'm coming back healthy. I've been grinding ever since I was allowed to get back on a bike, and yeah, things are just starting to click finally. I'm feeling good, and I had a good race. Got the whole shot, but almost wish I checked up so I could have not overshot the corner and been stuck in that dust first lap. But still a good start, and I felt good today. A few little mistakes here and there, but that's typical GNCC style. I felt like I rode really good. Stu just beat me straight up, and yeah, it was a fun race. Track was cool, you know, tight, technical, and had some fast, open stuff that you could really flow through. So yeah, overall a good race.
Well, we take a look at the top 10 from today. Again, congratulations to Stu Baylor on the big win. Ben Kelly with the second place finish. And, of course, how about it? The Factory One Sherco machine, the 314 of Grant Baylor, rounding out the top 3 on the box.
Yeah, it was a good day. I actually got off to a pretty good start for once and stayed with the lead group there for a little ways. And then Stuart and Ben just seemed to break away from me there, and Caleb. And then not long after that, saw Caleb down there in the pen section, and stopped, check on him, and then stopped and told some guys that he was down back there. And you know, after that, I kind of lost track of Stuart and Ben, and then kind of just rode my race from there. Tried to break back away from Jordan and Andrew and Lane there towards mid race, and you know, I was able to get away from those guys and ride a solid third place. So happy.
Well, now we take a look at the Specialized race recap. It was Ben Kelly snagging the whole shot early, the number 530, the right-hand side of your screen. And fantastic start, by the way, for Andrew DeLong in this one, as well as that guy right there, Jordan Ashburn, your early leader in the woods. But, boy, if there's one guy or two guys you don't want behind you, it's Caleb Russell and that guy, the 514 of Stu Baylor. Caleb Russell worked his way into the number 1 spot. Didn't take him too long to get up into that position. But boy, would not have it very long as that guy right there, the Ampro Yamaha of Stu Baylor, moved into the number 1 spot. And this section right here proved to be one that gives some advantage to a rider, maybe a disadvantage at time, but certainly a interesting section of the track right here. And Ben Kelly taking the safe route around the outside right there. Whew, getting wild with it. And a heartbreaker for Caleb Russell as he went down, suffered a bit of an injury, and ended up calling it a day and not able to fight for that win here. And that, boy, that pretty much sealed the deal on the race as Stu Baylor, boy, the time difference between him and the rest of the pack, we saw leads of more than 30 seconds at times. Ben Kelly certainly put in a great effort, did everything he could to try and catch up to that guy right there, but when it was all said and done, it was all the 514 Ampro Yamaha of Stu Baylor snagging his second win in a row and celebrating in style. Well, that's going to do it for us here, and on behalf of RacerTV and GNCC, I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.